Voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Well, hello and welcome to News Hour on Voice of the People TV. I am Vivian Oguche.
And I am Nenna Ndumdioto. Before we begin the news, kindly visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Here are the headlines. Court bars Rivers CJ from receiving Fubara impeachment notice.
Also, Supreme Court upholds Lamido's son conviction over undeclared $40,000.
Defense Minister urges states to stop negotiating with bandits.
And troops foil terrorist attacks in Adamawa and Borno.
Shetima to represent Nigeria at Guinea inauguration heads to Davos.
Sanwo-Olu orders student relocation after Ikorodu classroom collapse.
On the foreign scene, Uganda's president nears victory amid fraud claims.
Well, in business news, the SEC raises minimum capital for market operators and sets compliance deadline.
In sport, Chel names Bassi best centre-back at AFCON.
Well, in the world of entertainment, Ira Star secures 2 nominations. Wizkid, Davido, others make list.
Now the news in details. A high court in Rivers State has restrained Chief Judge Justice Simon Amadi from receiving or acting on any notice to impeach Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Presiding Justice F.A. Fiberi Sima granted the interim order after Fubara and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu, went to court to stop the ongoing impeachment process by the State Assembly. The court also allowed the pair to serve the order on the Assembly by posting it at the Assembly gate. The Assembly had requested the Chief Judge to set up an investigation panel over alleged gross misconduct by the governor and his deputy, citing constitutional breaches. The court has adjourned further proceedings to January 23.
Well, in another development, the Federal High Court in Abuja has rebuked lawyer Teka Ondo over alleged distortion of facts in the PDP leadership dispute between the Kabiru Turaki-led faction and supporters of FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. The case before Justice Joyce Abdul Malik involves the suit by Turaki, PDP's national chairman, and National Secretary Taufik Arapaja, seeking orders for police officers to vacate the party's national headquarters in Wadata at Wadata Plaza, Abuja. Justice Abdul Malik has directed all parties to file their processes ahead of the next hearing, scheduled for January 16, when pending applications and the substantive matter will be addressed.
Still on a legal note, the Supreme Court has dismissed an appeal by Aminu Sule Lamido, son of former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido, over the forfeiture of $40,000 to the federal government. The Apex Court ruled that the appeal lacked merit, describing it as doomed to fail, and upheld the decisions of the lower court. Aminu was arrested in 2012 at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport after declaring $10,000, but was found with $50,000 while traveling to Egypt. He was convicted by the Federal High Court in Kano for false declaration of foreign currency, with the Court of Appeal in Kaduna affirming the judgment. The Supreme Court has now finally upheld the forfeiture order.
And now to security matters. The Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, has urged state governments to stop negotiating with bandits, warning that such talks undermine military operations. Speaking in an interview with BBC Hausa, Musa said bandits cannot be trusted, adding that they often renege on agreements. He disclosed that the Katsina state government had been warned over his recent decision to facilitate the release of 70 suspected bandits, which the state said was aimed at strengthening community-based peace efforts with so-called repentant bandits. The defense minister also dismissed claims that the federal government pays a ransom to kidnappers.
Away from that report, troops of Operation Hadin-Kai have failed coordinated terrorist attacks in parts of Adamawa and Borno State, inflicting heavy losses on their assailants during follow-up operations. This was disclosed in a statement by Lieutenant S.A. Atokolo, Acting Media Information Officer, Joint Task Force Northeast, Operation Hadin-Kai. The statement added that the area was subsequently cleared and scanned for improvised explosive devices and booby traps to ensure the safety of both civilians and troops.
Over now to Niger State, where operatives of the Department of State Services in the state have rescued 2 pastors and a church member abducted by armed bandits in Kaduna State. Joseph Hayab, chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in the 19 northern states and the FCT, said the victims were safely rescued from the bush during ongoing DSS operations. Hayab praised the DSS for their courageous and timely service, saying the rescue has brought relief to the church and the families of the victims, and renewed hope that coordinated security efforts can defeat criminal groups.
In another development, the Vice President Kashim Shettima has departed Abuja to represent President Bola Tinubu at the inauguration of Guinea-Conakry's President Mamadi Doumbouya before proceeding to Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum. Shettima will attend the inauguration ceremony on Saturday in Conakry, marking President Doumbouya's assumption of office. From there, the Vice President will travel to Davos clusters for the 56th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum, holding from January 19 to 23. The meeting, themed A Spirit of Dialogue, will bring together global leaders to discuss solutions to shared challenges, including frontier technologies such as artificial intelligence and advanced energy systems. Shettima is expected to engage international leaders and investors in Nigeria's economic forums, investment opportunities, and Africans' role in the global economy.
While still in the news, the federal government has banned sand mining within 10 kilometers of the river Niger to protect the first and second Niger bridges. Works Minister David Umahi announced the decision in Asaba during the launch of the second Niger Bridge CCTV Monitoring Center. He said the ban, approved by the Federal Executive Council, aims to safeguard critical federal infrastructure and directed the Delta State Police to enforce it. Umahi also confirmed that the tolling on the second Niger Bridge will not begin until all access roads in Anambra and Delta states are completed.
We now move on to Lagos, where Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has ordered the immediate relocation of pupils from Odo Kekere High School in Ikorodu after a classroom block collapsed during lessons on Thursday. Some students sustained minor injuries and have been treated and discharged. The relocation aims to ensure learning continues without disruption. The Special Committee on Rehabilitation of Public Schools says the collapsed block had already been marked for demolition and will be replaced with a new building to accommodate the growing student population. SCRPS Chairman Hakeem Smith, who led an on-site assessment, promised construction of an ultra-modern classroom block will begin immediately.
We are just coming here now. I understand that some other agencies of the state are doing it. But getting here, we've had this information since yesterday that this bungalow collapsed. Unfortunately, I think it's one of these small bungalows that were done by the municipality to reduce the congestion in the classrooms that they have. So, I mean, you can see that the other one there is not also good. And what we're going to do, the state is going to ensure we quickly give them a new classroom. Although we've been here last year to come and see the situation, and we promised doing something this year. So it's just that we just have to start next week to come and start doing construction work. I mean, a new block for them. And that's all we can say.
So any form of incident, any death?
No death at all. Casualty very, very low. And the principal is there. You can ask the principal.
Who's the principal?
There's no death. There's no casualty. Don't think it's serious.
No casualty.
I think it's just like that one. It was just done by the community, like a shed, supported by timber props. Now, it wasn't a properly built bungalow. It wasn't. But you know, they've only done their best. So we can't tell them that what they've done was wrong. Still will never be this type of shed. We will definitely put up a befitting structure for the school that will accommodate the entire classrooms.
Your name, sir?
Hakim Smith. I'm the chairman of the committee in charge of the school application.
Well, turning to other stories, the African Democratic Congress has called on the police to investigate the alleged disruption of the inauguration of its transitional and membership registration committees in Borno State. In a statement issued in Abuja, the party's National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi condemned what he described as an attack on the ADC's lawful activities, insisting the exercise was duly authorized. Abdullahi said the inauguration complied fully with guidelines approved by the party's National Working Committee, dismissing claims of irregularities. He urged the police and other security agencies to investigate the incident, describing the disruption as a violation of the party's constitution, democratic values, and internal processes. He added that the ADC would not allow individuals without a mandate to hijack its affairs for personal interests, warning that such actions threaten the party's unity and stability.
Joining us in the studio to analyze the news hour is Frank Ayala. Ayala is a banker and a public affairs analyst. Glad to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, of course, Happy New Year to you. We'll not officially say Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir. So let's start with what is happening in Rivers State. The High Court in Rivers State has, of course, restrained the Chief Judge, Justice Simeon Amadi, from receiving or acting on any notice to impeach the governor. And of course, we know the backstory to this impeachment. The lawmakers actually decided to impeach the governor, and 4 of the lawmakers last week or some days ago said they were at different times, 2 at first and 2 later, said they were withdrawing. And then today now they're also saying they have come back, they've like done a U-turn, and they're coming again to say, no, we're not withdrawing the case, we want to pursue this. And now we have this new development that the court is restraining the chief judge from acting. What do you make of this?
Really, I think when you look at the issues in Rivers State, you see some personal issues that did not really border on the welfare of the citizens of Rivers State, rather border on the personal entitlement mentality of the current minister of FCT, trying to use those boys. They have also assisted 1 or 2 ways to push his agenda. How? If you look at the gross misconduct as they have alleged, then again, Supreme Court, in a judgment I cannot remember now, said gross misconduct could be defined as the states, depends on what they determine to gross misconduct. Then, if you see the allegation, they are saying refusing to present a budget that is spending money outside the budget, which is not true. In June 28th last year, during the state of emergency, the then Minister Administrator, Ibas, transmitted the budget of the state of about 1.4 trillion to the president. That's what the law says. When there is no an executive governor, the administrator will transmit the budget to the federal government through the presidency. No will now transmit it to the National Assembly. What we have in Rivers State today is electoral, it's a budget law, not art, not operation art. It's a law passed by the National Assembly. And that is why, according to the political advisor to the governor today in the national television said, after that budget was approved, each of these House of Reps were given $350 million, 350 million naira as their constituency allowance, and an SUV. But they didn't put a name to the SUV. Then the budget will close December 31st. By law, the governor, they have what they call the default budget.
December 31st of which year now?
2025.
All right.
Then the law now creates a room in case there is a delay in budget passage that the governor can spend for what we call the default budget within 6 months that will expire in June.
And we're not there yet.
We are not there yet. So the governor is within the constitutional right. So that's why we are asking them to define what is meant by gross misconduct. Because let's say governor gave them 100,000 naira in December. They say they rejected it because there was no budget. But did not reject the 350 million naira that was given to them by the then
Sole administrator.
So they need to tell us who interests are they representing. Looking at the four that initially back out and now go back, I wish them well. I strongly wish them well. So the Rivers State, the current Chief Justice of Rivers State that will inaugurate the 14-man panel to look at the crime as alleged, is a loyalist of the current sitting governor. Not forget that sometime last year, that same man went on 1 year vacation when they were waiting for this is the third impeachment threat. The first impeachment threat, the current CJ in Rivers State went on 1 year vacation, 1 year. It was the second one that Tinubu intervened with state of emergency. So let's see how it goes. It's just unfolding, and it's also unfortunate that the current president has not been able to call Wike to order. Because in all this, it is the river people that go to suffer it, not Fubara or Wike or Matthew, the current speaker. And I also see the personal interest of the current speaker trying to impeach the governor and the deputy governor at the same time is creating room for him to become the governor of a state. Because the next person in line. So why should you be the one pushing what directly benefits you? So those are the questions the law will be looking at. So, but however, let's see how it goes. But today, I don't think that this impeachment will see the light of the day.
Yeah,
I
I have a number of questions to ask. Yeah, first, the viability of the court order stopping the chief judge of the state to proceed with the impeachment proceedings.
Yes, that's
one. Number of things you said in your summation that this whole thing is personal.
It's personal.
You also said that the FCT minister is involved in this whole thing. His handwriting is in all of it. Now, my question is, do you think Fubara is going to survive it this third time? You talked about it being the third time. Is he going to survive it? And do you see the president throwing his very good friend Wike under the bus?
No. In politics, there's no permanent friend, there's no permanent enemy. It's a permanent interest. The president is going to weigh the options that are available for him. The first question the president will ask himself, who can deliver the numbers in Rivers State to him? As it stands today, the current governor has the capacity to deliver the numbers. Wike do not have the capacity to deliver the numbers. When he went on his 17th thank you visit, so local government rejected him outright. That's why if you look at the agreement as alleged with what we have seen on the social media, that one of the conditions is the governor should not decamp to any other party than PDP. And because that agreement we are tied to the fact that he was in PDP. Now, to your questions, can Fubara survive it? The answer is yes. It's going to be an issue between the APC and non-APC member. If you look at the House of Assembly that initially defects, the matter went to Supreme Court. In leaving your party, you must be a registered member of another political party to show that you have actually left your party. They could not provide that register. As we speak, they've also not go to register for APC. They have only decamped using from the floor. They've not registered in any political party. As of today, they are still a member of PDP. As such, APC will not. I think Fubara was very smart to have left the PDP to APC.
Absolutely.
To get the security of. So the first question the president is going to ask himself, who will deliver the numbers to me? Is it Fubara? Is it Wike? As we speak, remove Wike from minister today. He cannot deliver a local government in Rivers State.
Well, that remains to be seen. And it's interesting you gave us a sneak peek, at what this whole agreement is all about, the agreement between Fubara and Wike, because nobody knows it. But you said it's party-based. One of them is party-based. Yes. Now, the first question I asked, the viability of the court order stopping the Rivers State Chief Judge from proceeding with impeachment notice.
The court can give order pending, because they have not heard from Fubara. They need to create a time to hear from Fubara. Mm-hmm. Why do you think they shouldn't give this order? So the Fubara lawyer have yet to appear before the law court. So what the court need to do at this conjunction is to put what is called, the main status quo or the determination of the case in the court.
So status quo will be what now?
Pending, remain where you are till the time the matter came to the court.
Yeah, I'm saying, so where you are will be Fubara being governor.
Remain as a governor.
And the lawmakers not on any impeachment
notice.
Okay.
Until we hear from both parties. And that matter could be there because the law said 14 days. After the initial 14 days, then you now hear from both parties. When you hear from both parties, the law will now decide. Also not forget, the Chief Justice of Rivers State stands today, except if he has switched an allegiance, is Fubara's person. So that's going to make it difficult because by law, if the Chief Justice are going to constitute the 14-man panel that will look at the case on its merits. And whatever those 14-man panel says, either kills the impeachment notice or they proceed to the next level. Because after the investigation of those 14-man panel, then Fubara now have 30 days to appear before the panel. Two things will happen. Either the 14-man panel say there is no case submission, or, these are what ought to have done, go and do it. So it's a two-way thing. But I know Fubara will support. We have about how many months from now before election? About 30 months. Is it 30 months? 30 months, we are in January. Mm-hmm. By February, election have started. Nobody will remember impeachment. Everybody will not be struggling how to come back to the house. Mm-hmm. So Fubara will survive it.
Okay, let's still stay on this Rivers case. If Fubara is you're saying that Fubara would not be impeached. But if, let's just try to just juggle things a bit. If he's eventually impeached, what are the implications? And if, like you said, that he will not be impeached, if he's not impeached, what does this portend for someone like Wike?
If you listen to Wike, when he went to one of the local government, Obiakpo, that is his local government, he said any attempt for Fubara to get second tenure, he will bury his political career. So if Fubara survive this and he get APC ticket to run for second tenure and he succeed, don't also forget that Wike once told Amechi not to enter Rivers State. Yes. He said Amechi, there was a language he used, personal non grantor. Mm-hmm. Like if you've come to Rivers State, security will not be guaranteed. So then again, you're also looking at the law of karma, nemesis. Mm-hmm. It's also playing along with Wike. So Fubara will survive it. If he succeed it, if he survive it, Wike political career will belong to the dustbin, just as what Lamido said some time back, that Wike will soon belong to the history of political dustbin. But if Fubara did not survive it, then the river people now have a problem in their hand. Because Wike must not be allowed to control the resources of Rivers State. That is the contention. If you listen to Wike, some of the something we saw in social media have alleged that Fubara did not consult, he did not get approval for him to the camp. My brother, when did an individual now bigger than the governor that you need to seek your approval? Part of the agreement as said by the Wike itself that Fubara is not to nominate any local government chairman for election. And that is the grassroots. So for me, I think Fubara has a case here. And then again, we also know justify Fubara's action because we are not there when they had the agreement from the best. It was not the best Fubara was the Accountant General of Rivers State. He was being alleged of 111 billion. When EFCC were looking for Fubara, he went to hide the Wike guest house. So these are issues that I think River should be the beneficiary of these their issues. So for me, Fubara will survive it. If Fubara survives it, Wike political career is gone. Because today, he has no party. He's not in PDP, he's not in APC.
Because he's been expelled by a faction of
they've given him they've given certificate of expulsion. At least all of us have that certificate in at least part of his career now. It's part of the certificate they have acquired.
But himself and his friend Ayo Fayose of Ekiti State are saying they've not been expelled, that they have their own faction of the PDP, and that is the legit one.
Whose faction? The one Ekiti road result in last election with the supervision of Wike, with Fayose. Fayose again is on that character. I don't think we need to discuss him on the national issues.
Wow, that's heavy.
Yes, because with due respect to him as a former governor, as an elder statesman, I think he have an attribute that I think he need to be ashamed of himself. You see what he did to Obasanjo during his birthday. And if you listen to his younger brother, Isaac Fayose, Fayose, their father has about something children. Among those 37 children, Fayose is the, I don't want to use the language because it's a national television. He's somebody that even the family cannot trust him.
See, we need to wrap this up and go to the next story, because not too long ago, Fayose was on a televised interview and he said Fubara is not grateful. He started giving examples of how Ododo of Kogi State is grateful to his godfather.
Is Fayose grateful to his senior sister that sold his property to raise his 415 million naira? Is Fayose grateful to Atiku Abubakar that gave me the first 15 million naira to get his ticket?
Okay.
So these are political. See, I think Fayose and Wike, thank God this guy from Oyo State, Makinde, have finally realized himself and have stepped back. Those are not characters that are supposed to come to a national. For Wike to come out openly to say, have an agreement with the governor not to seek second tenure, it's an aberration to our law. It's a fundamental, you are even violating the governor's rights of making choice. So for me, those are not characters that ought to come to a national. Fayose should go and deal with these issues. You have a problem with Obasanjo. Fayose that come out to tell Obasanjo openly that he need to stay in Zoom. Openly. No, those are not characters we need to discuss on national issues.
Okay, well, let's move on. The Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, has urged state government to stop negotiating with bandits, and he's saying that such talks would undermine military operations. And we've seen that it looks like negotiations is what is the order of the day in the country, even though some of them would tell you, some of these government officials would say that there were no negotiations, there was no ransom paid in court. But we know that people get to say, okay, if there's no ransom paid, how come we're not seeing, we're not seeing victims, we're not seeing people captured, we're not seeing anything, we're just seeing the release of these abductors, of these kidnapped people, and then you're telling us that there was no negotiation at any point, there was no ransom paid. And the defense minister is saying that they should stop all of these negotiations or negotiating with bandits. What do you make of it?
It's unfortunate that the profile of our current Minister of Defense is what me personally, I like him, I respect him, but I will advise him to talk less and deal with those people who are negotiating. Because if you look at, remember Dachi girls, 120 students that were taken from, is it Adamawa? 120, those Dachi girls. You see when they return those girls, but they come with thousands of ilos. People were waving them. That means these guys know these boys in the bush. You also know that there's one guy, what's his name, that is being accused of collecting 50 million from bandits for negotiation. Why will a government official even sit down and sit down to even say, okay, I want to have a discussion with criminals? Our Minister of Defense said something recently, and I think I celebrated him. He said, a friend of a thief is a thief. So anybody, because if you are negotiating and releasing bandits, this is what you are doing. You are disorganizing. You are not appreciating the military effort in fighting security.
You know, I'd like to take you to something that happened in Katsina State, right? Christopher Musa said that the Katsina State government had been warned over its recent decision to facilitate the release of 70 suspected bandits which the state said was aimed at, strengthening community-based peace efforts. You do know that Katsina state government had said why they were asking for the release of these bandits was because that the bandits had agreed to release 1,000 abductees. So this was them paying them, in kind. But Christopher Musa, the defense minister, is saying, don't do it. It's not even nice. Should he, just like you said, act and speak less? What should he do in his shoes? What should he do, really, as the minister? What can he do? If
you ask for my opinion, if I want to stand on my fundamental human right, that governor need to be taken to psychiatric and evaluate his mental stability. How? Those bandits that have key families, make people widows, make people an orphan, you say they should release 70 of them. Why? If you listen to, if you listen to Baraje, Aro, that statement from Kwara State, he was part of them. I thought when he now repented, he said before 2015 election, the Buhari-led APC brought in militia from foreign countries to come ahead and fight Jonathan in case Jonathan refused to hand over power. Then Buhari went to Egypt and said visa on arrival. It is those policies that is creating this problem for us. Why will a governor that is collecting security votes, why will a governor that today the people, we have IDP everywhere, want to go and release the people that have created the problem for the Nigerian people? For me, I think, just as one senator once, I forgot his name, before he become a political officer, that there is a need to reevaluate their mental stability. If not, why can't he now come to Kirikiri and ask government to release everybody in Kirikiri? That's the implications. Because some of those people in our correctional centers do not kill anybody. Some of them stole chicken. Though not also supporting them, not also consider to the fact that so some of them stole chicken. And some of them, they are dead. Some of them see maybe 20,000 naira. They are dead. Nobody is talking of their release. Somebody is talking of a criminal that, see, when you process an illegal arms, you are supposed to be treated as a terrorist. These are people that it's verified that they possess an illegal arms, they've killed people, they've raped people, they've collected taxes for people. People are not able to go to farm that is creating food inflation for us. We are negotiating for release of them because we want them to swap 1,000 people. First of all, if the government is up and doing, how did they even take 1,000 people? That means maybe the governor know, or maybe part of those people that are benefiting from using those boys to destabilize the government at the center.
That's you speculating.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have that
because
authority.
I can't imagine why a governor will sit down. You are thinking of how to release a criminal.
Yeah, but Nigeria does not, or Katsina State, because not the whole of Nigeria.
That's why I said the governor.
So Katsina State does not have a monopoly on this. Even the U.S. once upon a time released, Taliban fighters. Like I was told, it's called a non-kinetic approach. Mm-hmm. It's a prisoner swap.
These are two different things here. Okay. These are two different things. Mm-hmm. Bandits are criminals. Let's establish that they are terrorists.
The Taliban fighters are not?
They are terrorists. American citizens were under their custody, Dalmas custody.
So you're differentiating between banditry and terrorism?
No, they are the same.
Okay.
Because they possess illegal arms. They kill people. They rape our women. They will take children hostage and take them into the bush. Now, Americans can afford to do whatever they want to do because once their citizen is involved in any... There was a time American citizen was kidnapped somewhere in Niger State. They came and take their citizens. Mm-hmm. Am I correct? Yeah. Those people that they took the citizen, did they keep them alive? So nobody can tell. So what the governor is doing, is the governor telling me if he's a Yoruba man or Igbo man or Ledo man that is caught in that time, will he release him? So the crime, see, I begin to love Jonathan the more.
Why?
I begin to love Jonathan the more.
Why?
If you remember Jonathan's wife, Patience, now only Iwaka come. Mm-hmm. He said the blood you guys are sharing, say God deal. If you look at how those girls were taken from Sambisa Forest, Wike was then the Minister for State Education.
Are you talking about the Chibok girls?
Chibok girls. He wrote a letter to the then governor, who is our current vice president, Chetima, that please do not allow them to conduct any exam within Chibok community because it's not safe. Chetima replied back to Wike that it's safe, that they can provide their security. That was an assurance from the city governor. Anybody can take that to the bank. That same night, 11 o'clock, they took those girls. They took those girls. They did not take the principal. The principal were there. No teacher were taken. That's why when you listen to Obasanjo just say, those feces, they want to go and write feces. They want to write feces. They don't accept feces with answer. Those girls could not speak English. So it is that they planted to hurt Jonathan that is hurting the entire nation today. So planning to release 70 bandits, for me, it will be a crime to Nigerian people. It will be a crime and very... I'm trying to manage my words so that we won't be saying come approve it in the court. Because there is no reason to release somebody that has been established that he committed a crime without a judicial process. Let the court either vindicate them or sentence them to jail. It is the work of the court, not the governor.
All right, Unene, I think you're up next.
Yeah, okay, so let's quickly move on to this the story about the vice president leaving the country. And we know that, I just saw your face. And we know that the president is currently out of the country. He has not even been in the country this year. And now the vice president is going out for a trip. So who is currently in charge of the country? Who is currently in charge of Nigeria?
Nobody is in charge.
So what does that portend for us as a nation?
We have no president as we stand, but we are getting some narratives from some quarter that the president can work from anywhere.
But can I ask you, we have the Senate president, don't we? He's the number 3 man. What's the hierarchy?
The number 3 man by law has not been enhanced to take over the function of executive.
Absolutely.
So he has to, of course,
so protocol has not been observed.
It has not been. So
yeah.
If the president is not available, there must be a letter transmitted to the House to enable him act as an executive, because the work of the executive is to execute issues, prosecute issues. While the legislation is to make law, the judiciary is to interpret law. As we speak, nobody is executing our policies.
So the crux of the matter is there's been no transmission
there's
of power
no transmission
to nobody.
Because this is also a violation to the constitution. It is in this old age. It's a problem.
So he's not on a medical trip.
Exactly, I was just going to say that.
No,
he's in the UAE.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
Sometime last week, we heard that he was in, Rwanda? Went to meet Paul Kagame for something to mediate between him and some other people, as alleged. Now we saw him in UAE, he was giving a speech. It's fine. All those agreement MOU, as it translated to Nigerian welfare, Tinubu have traveled 48 times within these 2 years, 2.5 years. 48 times. What has been the result of that 48 times? My dear, you know what it is to put that Airbus on the air? Wasting our taxpayers' money. Go with those thousands of people. And Shetimana is going to inaugurate on that person this thing. It's fine, it's within their right. But what we are saying, why must 2 of them leave the country at the same time? If there's an issue now, no wonder Wike can afford to abandon his work in Abuja and go to River and go and stay 17 days. Nobody is controlling it. There's no control. Would that mean within this period, there's no federal executive council where you approve memos? If it is, then who approve those memos? Because the president must sit down, the president not there, the vice president must sit down there. Now, Shetima have leave now. If he does not come back before Wednesday that there's going to be a federal executive council meeting, who will not preside over it? No, but that is the issue. That is the issue. So the issue is not can go anywhere, but within the EU going anywhere, what happened to why must a king leave his house often?
What's the way forward?
The way forward is our president should sit down to do the job he's elected to do.
It's as simple as that.
Very simple.
Okay. You've been fantastic as usual.
Thank you.
All right. Frank Ayala, he is a public affairs analyst, and we want to thank you for your brilliant submission. We also want to let the viewer know that the claims or the views of Frank Ayala are strictly his and not a reflection of our views right here in VOP TV. We'll be right back after the short break. I beg your pardon. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. And our stakeholders are optimistic that the newly renegotiated agreement between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities will restore trust, keep academic calendars on track, and enhance the quality of education in federal universities. BOPTV's Matthew Ogunsuade reports.
Has signed a renegotiated agreement with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, describing the move as a major step towards restoring stability, trust and quality in Nigeria's tertiary education system. Presenting the agreement in Abuja, the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, said President Bola Tinubu personally drove the process to ensure accessible, quality, and uninterrupted academic calendars across federal universities. Dr. Alausa explained that the agreement prioritizes dialogue over industrial disputes, addressing long-standing issues that have disrupted academic activities for decades. He announced the 40% upward review of the remuneration package for university academic staff, approved by the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, and scheduled to take effect from 1st January 2026. According to the minister, the salary review includes a consolidated academic tools allowance to support research, journal publications, conferences, internet access, and professional memberships. Voice of the People TV spoke with educational stakeholders to get expert insight into the federal government and ASU's renegotiated agreement and what it means for the future of Nigeria's tertiary education.
Nigeria is not too poor as not to be able to find the resources to make good the promise of government. So it is sustainable so long as we have the political will to annually vote the required funding to make this happen. And it's not really a favor we are doing the lecturers. This is a way to help our country retain good quality manpower so that we don't, as a result of high level of migration out of universities in Nigeria into universities and advanced societies, deny ourselves of the capacity to produce the human capital we need to fast track our development, which we are in very dire need of. So going forward, the smart thing to do is for the president of the country to work in collaboration with the parliament to ensure that annually we make adequate budgetary allocations through appropriation bill to cover this expenditure. It's not beyond us. It's not. We have not given too much to university lecturers. This is about the bare minimum we need to put in place to ensure that we don't continue to lose good quality.
As discussions continue, stakeholders hope this renewed commitment to dialogue will bring lasting stability, improved academic standards, and uninterrupted academic calendars across Nigerian universities. Matthew Ogunsuada, reporting for Voice of the People Television.
Thank you very much, Matthew. Activities at the new Benin market in Benin City remain slow, with sellers outnumbering buyers amid fallen patronage. Traders say weak purchasing power persists despite available goods and slight price reductions. Our correspondent, Rhoda Journey, reports.
Markets in Benin City remain low, with observations showing that sellers outnumber buyers across major sections of the market. Although traders were present in large numbers, buyer turnout was scanty, resulting in low sales. Sellers attributed the situation to weak purchasing power and the fact that many residents are yet to return from the altered holidays. Food items were generally available, and traders said prices of some goods have slightly reduced. However, the price drop has not led to improved patronage.
Different day. You know, say as things were there before, it don't be like that again now. Something done the less. We still thank God, say everything does still come down small. And may God let us still come down more. But as we say now, market no, you just get as if now we just the manager.
That Christmas period, people feel afford things. And it's them more easier than before. We see the thank God, say many still they travel, so never come. But the market is improving small by the grace of God. And we believe by February, things go kick up well.
The banana market day pass now. Now we just the manage a small. That is the banana sharp market. When you buy, you sell at sharp. But this one now, we just the market. Many people never stick up for travel. Maybe if they don't come now, the market go still pick up. So the market never pick up like that. We just take a small.
That December now, there's nothing. It's not too different, because like the December now, we sell this one. The rate of 35. That was December. We said 35. It's not more than like that. Why this one? We said this one 15 December. But now it's not to that amount.
Sellers describe overall patronage as poor, while fish traders complain that prices remained high, further discouraging buyers.
Everything don't come down. Rice come down. Everything come, but this our fish not come down. Like this one at 35 for one. With a buy carton, 200 and something thousand for one carton of fish. So we want to make government top with this our fish market too dear. Whether not the Korum owners they cut some where they don't they high. Even though they even get her for a size, they go they increase her for a size. I beg, make government top for this fish matter. Make the fish go down. We wait they suffer, we sell and we they suffer. Before you go sell and see your money, it go add. Everything come down, fish not be gone down. Even meat, even better than fish. I don't understand, I beg. I want make government top. We wait they sell and with the suffering. With the suffering, make sure fish come down. At least that time when they buy the fish, they buy 30,000, 40-something thousand. Now, almost 200,000 for one carton of fish.
Rhoda Johnny, VOP TV News.
Very well done, Rhoda. Thank you. And now the National Orientation Agency has partnered with a network of book clubs and reading culture promoters to foster a nationwide reading culture, promote literacy, and nurture responsible citizenship. Speaking in Abuja, NOA's Director of Communication, Malam Bala Musa, said young Nigerians are key to the nation's future and highlighted the agency's National Values Charter, now approved by the Federal Executive Council. Citizenship studies has also been added to school and university curricula to instill these values. The NBRP coordinator, Loye, said the group's mission is to encourage reading as a daily habit, emphasizing its role in intellectual growth and national development.
On the foreign scene, Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni is taking a commanding lead in this presidential election, far ahead of his main challenger, Bobi Wine, whose party has questioned the result. He returned from 70% of polling stations. Museveni has 75% of the vote, compared with 21% for Wine. Wine, who says he's under house arrest with security surrounding his home in the capital, Kampala, urged supporters to ignore the fake results.
Well, in business news now, the Securities and Exchange Commission has approved a major increase in minimum capital requirements for capital market operators aimed at strengthening market stability and investor protection. Issued under the Investments and Securities Act 2025, the new framework raises capital thresholds across brokerage firms, fund managements, market infrastructure institutions, and digital asset operators. Execution-only brokers will now require 600 million naira in capital, while broker-dealers and inter-dealer brokers must maintain 2 billion naira. Portfolio managers with assets above 20 billion naira will need 5 billion naira, while large fund managers must hold capital equal to at least 10% of assets under management. Digital asset exchanges and custodians will now require 2 billion naira, and central counterparties and campus-side exchanges 10 billion naira. SEC says all affected operators must comply by the 30th of June 2027 or face sanctions including suspension or withdrawal of registration.
We now move on to sports. Super Eagles head coach Eric Child has named Calvin Bassey as the best centre-back at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Bassey featured in all of Nigeria's matches and emerged as one of the team's standout performers, anchoring a defense that kept 3 consecutive clean sheets. However, the 26-year-old will miss Nigeria's third-place match after picking up his second yellow card in the semi-final loss to host Morocco on penalties. Speaking ahead of the bronze medal match, Shell praised Bassey's consistency, saying the Fulham defender improved with every game at the tournament. He added that he has an agreement with Bassey to keep pushing for improvement, expressing confidence that the defender can become one of the world's best by the end of next season.
Well, entertainment news is next.
Welcome to the entertainment news. Nigerian singer Ira Star has secured 2 nominations at the 2026 Mobile Awards, earning spots in the Best African Music Act and Best International Act categories. The singer, who made history last year as the first African woman to win both awards, faces stiff competition once again. Organizers unveiled a diverse nominees list featuring artists from 4 continents. Other Nigerian acts nominated include Wizkid, Davido, Tiwa Savage, Adekunle Gold, Rema, and Shali Poppy, each earning 1 nomination. The 2026 Mobile Awards, marking the ceremony's 30th anniversary, will take place on March 26 at Copo Live in Manchester. Moving on in entertainment, award-winning Nigerian singer Wizkid and Asake have teamed up for a new single, Jogodo. The track dropped on streaming platforms early Friday and serves as a preview of their first collaborative EP, Real Volume 1, set for release on January 23rd. Sung in a blend of Yoruba and Pidgin, the song celebrates nightlife and allure, driven by a chant-ready chorus. In an Instagram post, Asake revealed the 4-track EP will also feature Turbulence, Isokolodo, and Alaye. While this marks their first full EP together, the duo have worked together before. Wizkid featured Asake on Bad Girl from his 2024 project, Morayo, while Asake previously enlisted Wizkid on MMS from his debut album, Lungu Boy. Wizkid remains one of Afrobeat's global icons, while Asake continues to cement his place among Nigeria's leading artists. And finally, in entertainment, Afrobeat star Davido has denied claims that he is the father of a teenage girl who recently demanded a DNA test. The singer said he has never had a personal relationship with the girl's mother, adding that his only interaction with them was during the DNA test process. And that's it for entertainment. I am Precious Agmanu.
Precious, thank you. And that wraps it up for us in News Hour. But before we go, a quick look at the headlines. We told you that a court has barred Rivers CJ from receiving Fubara impeachment notice.
Also, Supreme Court upholds Lamido's son conviction over undeclared $40,000.
Defense Minister urges states to stop negotiating with bandits.
Troops for terrorist attacks in Adamawa and Borno.
Also, Shetima, to represent Nigeria at Guinea inauguration, heads to Davos.
Sanwo-Olu orders student relocation after Ikorodu classroom collapse.
On the foreign scene, we told you that Uganda's president nears victory amid fraud claims.
In business, SEC raises minimum capital for market operators and sets compliance deadline.
Well, in sports news, Ichel names Bassi best centre-back at AFCON.
And in the world of entertainment, Ira Star secures 2 nominations. Wizkid, Davido and others make lists.
Well, do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV. And other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. If you witness news happening near you, we want to hear from you. Send your eyewitness reports, event coverage requests, photos or videos directly via WhatsApp to 0814-606-404057. You can also reach our newsroom by email at news@vop.ng. Well, I am Vivian Oguche.
And I am Nenna Ndumdioto. Thank you for watching.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics